Harnessing Your Emotions, The Hidden Power of Conscious Leadership. Written by ChatGPT and Jedi Steve. When we're not nervous anymore, we die. That's why they call it a nervous system. Jedi Steve. Emotions are not weaknesses. They are information. Let me begin with an important clarification. When I talk about men and emotions, I am describing patterns I have observed. Not saying every man suppresses emotions or that women don't experience similar challenges. Every person is different. The goal is to open a conversation, not put anyone in a box. For generations, many men have been encouraged to hide their emotions, toughen up, and never show vulnerability. But what happens when we continuously push emotions down? They don't simply disappear. Our nervous system constantly evaluates what is happening around us and within us. Stress, fear, anger, and perceived danger can activate the sympathetic nervous system, increasing heart rate, breathing, alertness, and readiness for action. That response can be extremely useful. The challenge comes when we remain activated without enough recovery. Chronic stress can affect sleep, concentration, mood, and overall well-being. Emotional regulation involves recognizing what we're experiencing, putting words to it, and choosing how we respond instead of automatically reacting. Awareness creates options. I believe there are no inherently bad emotions. There are emotions that are balanced and emotions that become out of balance. Anger can tell us something matters. Fear can tell us to pay attention. Sadness can signal loss or a need for connection. Excitement can point toward possibility. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of this emotion? What is this emotion trying to teach me? Imagine a leader who can experience anger without becoming anger. A student who can experience failure without deciding, I am a failure. A CEO who can acknowledge fear while still making a thoughtful decision. That is emotional leadership. When emotions become intense, our thinking can become more reactive and focused on immediate threats or rewards. But taking a moment to breathe, identify the emotion, and slow down can create psychological distance from the reaction. Think about that. What could change if you gave yourself 5 seconds before responding? Instead of saying, this is impossible, ask, what is the next possible step? Instead of saying, they always do this to me, ask, what else could be happening here? The question changes the focus. The focus influences the response. The response influences the outcome. And outcomes shape our experiences. Conscious leadership does not mean pretending everything is positive. It means acknowledging reality while choosing a constructive direction. There is strength in saying, I am angry. There is wisdom in saying, I am afraid. There is courage in saying, I don't know. And there is leadership in saying, I need help. For some men, vulnerability has historically been treated as weakness. But vulnerability can also be courage because it requires honesty about our internal experience. And this isn't only about men. Women, men, students, executives, athletes, parents, teachers, and leaders of every kind can experience emotional suppression, overwhelm, or reactivity. The human nervous system doesn't care about our job title. It responds to what we experience. So perhaps the question for all of us is, how can we create environments where people are strong enough to express what they feel and wise enough to take responsibility for what they do with those feelings? Emotional expression without accountability can become destructive. But emotional awareness combined with accountability can become transformational. Leadership begins within. Before asking others to become accountable, can we become accountable for our own reactions? Before demanding better communication from our teams, can we examine the energy, language, and assumptions we bring into the room? Before telling someone else to calm down, can we ask whether our own nervous system is already influencing the conversation? Your words matter. Your attention matters. Your choices matter. Every interaction is an opportunity to contribute something constructive or destructive. We are interconnected. A leader who enters a room angry can influence an entire team. A teacher who believes in a student can change how that student sees themselves. A parent who learns to regulate their reactions can transform the emotional environment of a family. We influence one another. So ask yourself, what kind of energy are you bringing into the spaces you enter? What if leadership became less about controlling people and more about becoming conscious of how our presence affects them? What if success were measured not only by what we accomplish, but also by who becomes stronger because we were part of their journey? Being emotionally balanced doesn't mean being calm every moment. It means becoming aware enough to recognize what is happening within you and intentional enough to choose what happens next. Feel the emotion. Name the emotion. Listen to the message. Choose the response. Move forward with purpose. That is how we harness the full being. So, leaders, students, entrepreneurs, mentors, men, women, and future change makers. What would become possible if you stopped fighting your emotions and started learning from them? What relationship could change if you listened before reacting? What decision could improve if you paused before responding? What kind of leader could you become if your emotions became a source of information rather than a source of conflict? We don't need less humanity in leadership. We need more conscious humanity. The future belongs to people who can think deeply, feel honestly, communicate intentionally, and act responsibly. Harness your emotions. Harness your awareness. Harness your ability to choose. Then turn that power towards something greater than yourself. Jedi mode activated.
What do you guys think?